What's going on, nerds? My name is Jesse, and welcome back to the channel. Today we got another two guys review this movie of choice. I'm back with Justin.
What up?
Yeah. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to make this a more regular series on the channel. We're going to try to make it weekly. We're going to try really hard to make it weekly. No guarantees, but we're going to be posting these every Tuesday if possible. And we're not going to just do new releases like we've been doing. We're also going to go back and do some of our favorite movies from the last, 10 or 20 years. So, Justin, favorite Pirates movie, or actually rank them.
Well, if I had to go favorite Pirates movie, I got to go with the original. I mean, Johnny Depp killing it with Jack Sparrow in the original one. I don't know if you knew this, but I was reading up on it, and some backstory is that apparently Johnny Depp wasn't supposed to be as big of a character as he ended up being with Jack Sparrow. It was just supposed to be like a side character.
Yeah.
And he originally filmed something like only 10, 15 minutes of screen time, and they just kept going from there.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I've heard of that. That's such a cool story because it really it kind of accentuates the fact that Johnny Depp's character is like a real original, and from himself, and it wasn't in the screenplay. And he was so good when they came to the audition that they were like, "Fuck it, man, we're putting you in the movie more." Right? Which is awesome.
I'm really glad they did. And
yeah.
So I got to go with the originals, be my favorite. Going from there, At World's End is a really good film. I really enjoyed the whole the clash of the worlds, basically, when the pirate clans all come together.
Yep,
I think that's awesome.
And the multiple Johnny Depp scene in there is really cool. Yeah,
exactly. Going from there, I think I have to step back towards Dead Man's Chest. I feel like the original three were just a lot better than the last two.
Okay.
Just in terms of they hadn't really gone crazy with everything yet.
Sure.
And they kind of kept going downhill with more stuff they tried to add. And so leaving from there, we go to Stranger Tides and finally to Dead Man Totem No Tails. I think it's my least favorite of the five. It has one of my favorite scenes in a recent movie in probably the last 5 years, but that's about it.
Okay, save that scene because we are going to talk about it. Because it's also my favorite scene. But okay, so here's mine. I would have to disagree. I think it's Black Pearl is definitely the best, probably the best Pirates movie. I'd say it's actually a classic, to be honest. I think Black Pearl is one of the best movies in the last 20 years, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Then I would go Dead Man's Chest, which I happen to enjoy quite thoroughly. Then I put Dead Man Tell No Tales, then Stranger Tides, and then At World's End, then Stranger Tides. So I think Stranger Tides is the weakest of the five.
I mean, I'm not arguing for it being bad movies.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a problem with that Dead Man Tell No Tales being a third, though. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah. That's how I rate it. We're personal choice here. Okay, so quick synopsis of the movie. Basically, Javier Bardem's character, Captain Salazar, is out to get Captain Sparrow, Jack Sparrow, just like every other movie in this series. Somebody is after Jack Sparrow. That's fine. The only problem I have with the initial story is the fact that it is basically an ensemble story, which is not a terrible thing, but it can be hard to follow when there's 5 different plot lines going at the same time, where you have William Turner, who is in the movie at the very beginning and at the very end, and that's it. Keira Knightley's in the movie for 5 minutes, but she's a big part of the plot as well. It's just kind of hard to follow sometimes when there's that many plot strings.
It's just really tough because of the fact that they were trying to bring everyone back in. Like, it's pirates. We got to have these 3 people always, even if they're not going to be a part of the movie at all. We have to throw them in somehow.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it really threw a wrench into a lot of people's feel for the movie. Like, seeing Will Turner that early, like, oh, are we going to see him more? No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're going to see him at the very end. That's it.
Yeah. I would also say the fact that that first scene when we do see him is really dark as well. Like, it's hard to see him because they're underwater, and some of the shots in this movie are not super well lit. Like the first battle between Salazar and Jack Sparrow, I think, is in that battle as well.
Yeah, with the storm, where they're jumping between ships.
Yeah, when they're jumping between ships, you just can't see much there, which is a bummer because that scene does look awesome, but I just didn't get much from it because I couldn't see what was really going on.
No, I completely agree. It's really hard, especially for where we sit, because we sit closer to the screen. I don't know how a lot of people like to sit.
Yeah, we do
sit close to the screen. Yeah. We just see just flashing lights and then nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been better sitting farther away. I think that it was just It's just poorly lit. I think since IMAX laser is becoming more popular and filmmakers are catering to that because you can really shoot in low light and see everything in IMAX laser, but we don't have that around here, so that's just the way it is, you know. So the other two main plot points are Henry Turner and Karina Smith, and those two are the main plot. They're basically supposed to be the Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley from the first movie, so there's kind of a reminiscence there, which I thought was nice, but I don't need callbacks in sequels personally. And it felt like they were trying to. It's basically a similar plot to Black Pearl, because what happens is you got the two main characters, Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, and Jack Sparrow comes in and fucks it all up for a little bit. And then they have a big bad guy that they got to fight at the end, who was Barbossa in the first movie and is Salazar in this movie. Right?
Yeah, I agree. And one thing that I did end up liking what they did is that they let, I don't know if you want to talk about it right now, but let Karina Smith be Karina Barbossa and bring Barbossa back to have that little bit of connection. That made it feel a little bit better for me. But I definitely agree that this just felt like they're trying to reboot it basically and to bring back the initial love from the first movie.
Yeah, it was almost like a rehash. Yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into spoilers now. If you haven't seen the movie, catch you on the flip side. We're going to tear this thing up to parts here. I actually enjoyed the movie, considering I put it so high on my list, and Justin must have hated it because he put it down below at the end of his list.
It's just tough, you know. You've looked at the first three films, as I put very highly on my list of movies in the recent time that I've seen them.
Yeah.
But with it being that they just keep rehashing similar plot lines and then changing basic plot points, like the basic story of the compass, you know?
Yeah.
Like they gave the story of the compass in a previous movie, and now we're trying to change it. Like, fuck that. This is a new movie. It doesn't matter.
Okay, with that said, let's just go ahead and talk about the compass scene, because the origin of the compass in this movie is fucking awesome. Probably the best scene in any Pirates movie ever. The young Jack Sparrow scene in this film, if it's on YouTube, link me, please, because I love that fucking scene. It's incredible. I would actually be down to see a young Jack Sparrow movie. I understand that's probably a hassle because you have to do the whole CGI face thing with Johnny Depp, but that shit was dope, man. I really enjoyed that scene. What do you think?
It's by far one of my favorite scenes in films, probably in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's a chill down your spine watching the slow-mo as he flips the compass around, walking, staring at Javier Bardem.
Yeah. Captain Salazar, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, he's up on the top, and that's how he gets his name, Jack Sparrow. And the scene where he throws the rope out and flips that thing around, and then you get the shot of Javier Bardem's face. There's nothing he can do. He's going in there. And then you just get that walk by spinning the compass, just like the fucking coolest guy in the history of fucking cool. What a scene, man. That's an awesome scene. It made the movie worth it, without a doubt. Without a doubt, worth to see. Getting back into the plot of the movie, I do think the ensemble cast kind of hurt the film a little bit just because of the amount of plot strings you have to follow to get there. There's a lot of convoluted stuff that has to happen for them to get there. But there was a lot of fun stuff along the way. I thought the horse heist bank thing, which is basically this Fast and Furious 5 scene with horses, that was kind of... It was lame because we'd already seen it in Fast 5, but it was cool because they did some different stuff with it where Jack Sparrow's running on the roof and they have that huge break scene where the whole building breaks. It's awesome.
I think it was really cool, and I really like that this is basically like a pay homage to Jack Sparrow and to Johnny Depp's play of Jack Sparrow throughout the film. Like, there's just different things that are really Jack Sparrow-esque that didn't need to be in the film, but really helped pay homage to him. And I really like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the film, for what it lacks in continuity, I think it makes up for it in really cool scenes. I think there's a couple of fun scenes in the film. I think Javier Bardem's wasted a little bit in this film because he is the big bad in this film, but they're not after him. They're after the Trident, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think not making him the main thing that the heroes are after was a mistake, but it's okay. I'm fine living with it. But I just think because he's such a good evil, like he plays evil so well. With No Country for Old Men, he is completely menacing in that film,
Mm-hmm.
and in Skyfall as well. But I felt like we were gonna finally get like a really high tier villain since Jeffrey Rush in the first film,
Yeah.
and I was a little bummed about it.
It was a little frustrating to see that he was basically unrelated to the Trident in that he wasn't in their way of getting to it. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't the one that held the Trident. He was after the Trident just as much as they were, and without them wanting it, he still would have been fucked.
yeah, and
Like
well,
he
the
would have
thing
thought it's
is,
not attainable.
yeah, sure. I don't even think he was after the Trident until they found out that they were after the Trident. And then he was like,
Exactly.
okay, well, I'm going to go after them and get the Trident as like a side piece.
And it just felt a little like it was two different plot points thrown together.
Yeah. I think there was a really cool scene there, though, when they're like running the ship over the edge and then you get the Barbossa save the day on the anchor. That was really cool.
Hmm. I agree. And then another cool scene would be when, what is it? When the ship opens up, when
Oh, when
Captain Salazar's
Salazar's
ship
ship. Yeah.
opens ship.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool. Yeah.
and I think that there's great
Cinematography.
yes, thank you. That was the correct word.
Yeah.
Throughout the film, in which they really take advantage of the options for animations to really bring out a different light of what these ships can do.
Yeah, if there's one thing you could say about the Pirates movies is the style of the films is incredible. Like the visuals are really on point. The CGI is also really cool almost all the time. And yeah, man, I think the visuals in this film are really good.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just tough, if we take out the Henry Turner and the Kareem Smith, and we take out the Trident, and we make it Captain Salazar chasing Jack Sparrow, and then Will Turner comes and helps, I feel like this film would do a lot better. But because they're trying to throw three other different points into it and make what could have been, three other different movies, which I'm sure they would have loved to extend into
Sure.
this one, it really just cramps up the time space that you have to understand everything.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the Karina Smith character. I just think having the extra Henry Turner as well, making them two separate plot points instead of just making it Karina Smith and new guy who's not related to anybody. I think that would have been better because we still get the Barbosa and Karina Smith are father daughter, and we get the great death scene with him at the end because I thought that was a
Hmm.
well deserved, well played death scene in the film. So I would like to keep Karina Smith, but I just think having both of them together as two separate plot points just it doesn't work together in my opinion.
Yeah. Another problem I have is the whole Trident scene. So the Trident serves 2 points, and neither one are really well explained. The Trident is supposed to be Poseidon's weapon. Poseidon's the king of the ocean, so the Trident can control the water. So when Captain Salazar holds the Trident, he's able to control the water, throw Jack Sparrow around, right? It also has the ability to remove any curse. Neither of these points are explained as to why it requires the Trident to do either of these things. You
Sure.
think that Poseidon, being the king of the ocean, he could do it himself. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that I agree with there. Especially why would Poseidon not have his trident? Like, why is it sitting in the ocean? Is Poseidon dead in this film? I don't understand. Um, yeah, and then I mean, it gets semi-explained with the riddle is like I can't remember how it goes, but it has to do with breaking the staff. So that's in the riddle, but it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess what the idea was is that all the magic that's in these films is controlled by the trident, and that if you break it, all the magic's gone. Right? That's kind of what I picked up from it.
Nah, plot twist. Pirates of the Caribbean 20. Poseidon comes after Jack
Yeah,
Sparrow.
right,
Got it.
exactly. Yes, I'm excited. Yeah. You want to talk about the post-credit scene a little bit?
I do. It was really interesting. I still don't understand it completely, and I'm hoping there's a little more information to be given, maybe in another movie that doesn't revolve around Jack Sparrow. Because what I really feel like is I feel like Johnny Depp isn't going to be continuing any further with the storyline.
Yeah, I agree.
But it shows Will and Elizabeth sleeping in bed, and as they're sleeping, the door slowly opens, and you can see the silhouette of what looks like Davy Jones. You can see the tentacles. You can hear the one peg legs stomping around.
Sure.
And as he gets close to the bed, suddenly Will Smith wakes up. He turns around and he sees a claw, which is definitely Davy Jones. And he wakes up. It turns out it's a nightmare. And Will looks over to his door, and the door's closed, and everything's fine. So he pulls Elizabeth into his arms and goes back to sleep. And the camera slowly pans down to the floor, and on the floor there is a little bit of water and some barnacles.
Sure.
So something to say that Davy Smith is back. He's still alive.
Davy
He's
Jones.
not. I thought I said Davy Jones.
Davy Smith.
Yes, Davy Jones. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so
but he's back. He's alive, and he's still under the curse, which is a little interesting because the trident's broken. There's no more curse.
Yeah, they're gonna try to shoehorn magic back into this some way or another. I actually really like the Davy Jones scene from. Is it Dead Chest? Dead Man's Chest?
Well, he's in Dead Man's Chest and in At World's End.
I think it's in Dead Man's Chest when the magic girl, who is his lover as well, touches him and he turns back into a human. I always thought that was a really cool scene. So I would think
that was in At World's End. Actually.
Maybe it's at World's End. Either way, I think if he comes back as a regular human, I would be more excited than as a barnacle guy, with the claw and everything and the tentacles. I would prefer to see him as a regular human, just out for vengeance or whatever, right? But I thought he was dead because we took his heart, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was, but who knows? Maybe the curse breaks and everybody's alive again.
But he's still in the barnacles.
Yes, but he's still barnacle face. Yeah, yep.
Don't fucking get it.
Yeah, let's talk about Jeffrey Rush for a little bit because he died in this film and he's been in all 5. Let's talk about him a little bit. I think his death scene was really well earned. I felt like it was as far as movie deaths goes, that's a good way to go out. Saving your daughter.
Yeah, and I think it really pays homage to how important, how good he was in these films.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, in the original film, he is the true villain. Like, he's great in it. Everyone loves to hate him, and he really plays the role well.
Yeah.
And then you go into number 2, and the reveal that he's still alive from Calypso.
Oh, that's so good.
It's just amazing. Yeah, it's just chills.
Yeah, isn't that in a
and then he
post-credit scene
continues
as well?
up. No, it's right at the end, right before the post credits.
Oh, okay.
And and it's great, and just he continues on in the films, and you just grow more and more to like him as a person that's just a true pirate. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone else. He still has a heart, but his first and foremost one is for himself. Yeah, he's gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that he's taken care of and he's back out on the sea.
Yeah. I also think that he just fits that role perfectly, and he's a great actor, man. Especially when he gets when he finds out that Karina is his daughter and he puts it together. I feel like he played that really well.
I definitely agree.
He's putting it all together and he's remembering that he left that girl that book, and I really like it. And at first he doesn't accept her. He doesn't want her to know that he's a pirate, and then finally he lets her know towards the end. And I felt like that was a good scene.
I'm a little bit surprised that Jack Sparrow was intelligent enough or aware enough to notice, because you don't really equate Jack Sparrow with knowledge normally.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow can be whatever the plot wants him to be at times, which is a bummer because not everything fits his character. So, I live with it because I enjoy the Jack Sparrow character, but that does happen in all the films where he just knows things for no reason,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Past that, speaking of magic, you brought it up a few minutes ago about Davy Jones. Can we talk about the witch? I don't think we ever caught her name in the film, but the one that's able to just pull the book out of thin air. Like, she is just like the essence of
pull the book out of thin air. I don't remember that.
Like scene. She doesn't pull it out of thin air, but she suddenly has Karina's book. When she's supposed to be locked up, and they basically equate it to her being magical. Like, she has just those powers.
Yeah, I can't remember that scene.
And it was very Deus Ex Machina. Like, I feel like she was just like a voice of God for most of the film that she was in.
Sure. Yeah, I don't remember much about her. I remember her pointing out the map in the cell because Karina had drew it out. She's dumb.
I believe it was with. It wouldn't be with Barbossa. It would be with the actual crew.
The Redcoats.
The Redcoats, yes.
The Redcoats. Yeah.
But it's during that scene where Karina's supposed to have it, and I'm pretty sure, still has it going into the next scene. But so does she. How does she have it? How do they know they need it? What is all of this? And it didn't make a lot of sense in terms of a plot standpoint.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I honestly don't remember that scene.
Past that, it was just, I feel like there's just so much going on in this film overall that it's hard to take everything as you would want to, you know? You get Gibbs again, and Gibbs is doing the same old thing where sometimes he's on Jack's side and sometimes he's not, which is very telling of him as a friend, as a pirate.
Yeah.
Is that they really don't have to work together all the time to still be friends and to still want to take care of each other.
Yeah. I mean, I still love Gibbs, though. Gibbs is the man.
Gibbs is awesome. Nothing wrong with Gibbs. No hate.
All right. Well, we're at the 20-minute mark here. I want to kind of end this around here. Rating out of 10?
I mean, all of the critic ratings are low. I'm rating it like a 3, and I don't think it's that bad. I mean,
no, I don't think it's that bad.
I love the meme that it should at least get an 8.
Yeah.
I'd at least give it an 8, but no, it's probably around a 5.
Yeah, I'll give it.
It can do a lot better.
Sure, I give it a 7. I think it's not terrible. I think it's a good popcorn movie. You should go just to see the young Jack Sparrow scene alone. That is one of the best scenes we're gonna see all year, without a doubt. So, go get your popcorn, get a big soda, and enjoy the fucking film. You know, not every movie has to be an Oscar winner. Not everyone. Basically, we're gonna be trying to keep these around 20 minutes, and we'll be going back again on next Tuesday as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll do Wonder Woman. I'm not 100% sure. What do you think, brother?
Either Wonder Woman, or I'd really like to start Harry Potter. Let's hear in the comments. Would you guys like to see the new Wonder Woman, or would you like us to start Harry Potter?
Yeah.
And we'll go back and forth. It'll be up to you guys.
All right. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like. Follow both of us on Twitter. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later.